Before you start your own business, first you have to think, is this right for me? Starting your own business isn't meant for everyone. It takes a certain personality to get it. So what we've noticed is that a lot of successful entrepreneurs have a lot of common factors, one of which is cynicism. This is the belief that people act on self-interest. As a good business owner, you have to understand that people will act on their fears and passions. It's your job to create services and products that will help address these. Next is insecurity or fear. As a new business owner, there's going to be a lot of outside factors that will help deter you from starting your own business or even making it successful. You have to constantly be on the lookout and be on your toes to make sure that you know what to do, what steps to take to prevent these from happening. The next two sort of tie together. First is ruthlessness, which is where you have to see something and then go for it. You have to have a love for your business to just knock out the competition and go for your goal. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't mean to be unethical. You still have to follow laws and business ethics, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be nice. This ties into the first of the next section, which I like to call the 5 Ps. The first is passion. It's literally just having a love for your business and being consistently absorbed by the tasks and concerns of it. The next is perseverance. This one's pretty self-explanatory. It's not easy to start a new business and things are going to be rough, so you have to stick to it and don't give up. The next is promotion or prevention focus. Promotion focus is when you focus on maximizing the gains for your business. Prevention focus is where you try to focus on minimizing the losses. Next, there are different types of planning styles. Comprehensive planning is when you have a long-range plans for all aspects of the business. Critical point planning is when you prioritize the different needs of your business. Opportunistic planning is when you start with a goal in mind and then find different ways to achieve that goal. Reactive planning is sort of the play-it-by-ear method, where you react to the environment and see what the next steps to take are. Next is habit-driven. This isn't exactly planning, but it's rather when you rely on your own routines to drive your business. The next is a standard business practice. This is a business plan that's been widely adopted by other companies in the same industry. Finally, professionalization. This is a social process by which any trade or occupation transforms itself into a true profession of the highest integrity and competence. The first is expert. It's when all major functions of the business are handled according to a standard business practice. The next is specialized. This is when the founders and owners are passionate about one or two key business functions. And finally, there's minimalized professionalization. This is when you find the simplest way to do things. Another common term for this is bootstrapping, or creating the cheapest way to start your business.
Now, Mr. Adams, we understand you're in this to make a little bit of money, and there are 2 places from which your money will come into your business. The first of which is from yourself in the form of capital, and the second of which is customers in the form of revenue. Now, once the revenue from your customers reaches your expense level and it covers everything for the month, we call this a magical thing called the break-even point, and it is a very important point of any business. Now, in terms of revenue, we have a couple of ideas of places from which we think that your revenue will come. And these include bike sales, bike repair, bike tours, along with accessory sales, and possible winter activities including snowboard repair and snowboarding tours. How you price these is up to you, but we recommend that you pay for our specific break-even analysis for further instruction on how to price your items. Considering your customers might be adrenaline junkies, we think it would be a good idea for you to tap into their winter activities, as we mentioned above, because your business will be a very seasonal business. So the key is to make sure that you save up enough money during your active time to be able to have enough money to run your business during your low times, because you will need money to run your business, everything from rent to payroll. We would also recommend that you look at other hidden analysis that you might find. Some of these we have brainstormed for you include cash registry service, overhead inventory, tools for repair, rent, payroll, security systems, along with insurance. Speaking of insurance, we also want to make sure that you manage your risk. There are 5 things that we recommend you do to manage your risk. The first of which is to form an LLC. Now, we recommend an LLC as opposed to a corporation due to the fact that you are going in on this by yourself, and an LLC will cover you just fine. What the LLC actually does is it builds a wall between you and your assets and your business's assets, making sure that your personal assets stay safe. The second thing we recommend is that you buy insurance. There are 3 types of insurance that we think you should get. These include commercial liability, which is your stereotypical slip and fall for in your business. Errors and omissions. We recommend this one because riding bikes is a very dangerous sport that people are most likely going to get hurt, and we want to make sure that that blame does not come back on you. We also recommend that you get product liability, because if you sell any of these bikes that are defective, we also don't want it to come back onto you. The third thing we recommend is that you have disclaimer language in 3 specific places: the forms your patrons fill out before trips, the contract of sales, and the contract of repairs. These are very dangerous sports, as we said, and we don't want any of the blame coming back onto you. Another aspect that you could consider would be transferring your assets to another person. Now, whether you end up doing this decision is completely up to you and the person with which you will transfer the assets. It's a very personal decision, and we would not even begin to advise you on this step. And the last is to manage your risk is to stay away from crazy people. Their potential business is not worth the headache that they could cause. Trust your gut with this.
Now let's talk about your competition and building your competitive strategy. First, we have put together a SWOT analysis, which covers the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to your business. First, we'll cover your strengths. Pittsburgh has a lot of young people, which are the target audience for a physical activity-oriented business. The 2 largest demographics in Pittsburgh are 18 to 24, which is roughly 20% of the population, and 25 to 34, which is roughly 16% of the population. These are both higher than the Pennsylvania average as well as the US average. Young people like to exercise, so assuming you have an appropriate location and marketing, you will have many prospective customers. Additionally, we recommend selling a variety of mobile objects rather than solely focusing on bikes, such as scooters, longboards, and roller skates, as well as parts and accessories. This will expand your customer base and attract a large variety of people. Next, we'll talk about weaknesses. Biking is a largely seasonal endeavor. To counteract this negative, we recommend selling snowboards in the winter and taking groups on snowboarding excursions. In addition, you are new to the marketplace, but this will change as you establish a customer base. Now let's cover opportunities. Most bike stores are limited to sales of bikes and parts or accessories. By taking groups on trail excursions to both local and abroad locations, you will differentiate your business from others in the area and put yourself above the competition. Additionally, events and races will attract new customers. Last, we'll talk about threats. Increased competitive pricing from online retailers is a notable issue facing bike shops. By building a strong relationship with Pittsburgh locals through the products and opportunities you offer, along with excellent customer service, you will be able to keep customers coming back and avoid losing them to external sources. Also, competing bike shops already have established customer bases. You will be new in the market, so be ready to attract new customers while taking clients from these shops. Finally, inclement weather can cause less people to go out on rides. You don't have much control over this, but this is a problem for any outdoor-related business. In addition to our SWOT analysis, we have compiled a list of competitors to look out for. Some terminology to consider are as follows. Direct competitors are doing the same thing you're doing. Indirect competitors are targeting the same market and the same fears and passions, but have a different product. Actual competitors are competitors who are already out there. Finally, potential competitors aren't in the marketplace, but they could get into your space and threaten you if they wanted to. For actual direct competitors in the Pittsburgh area, you will have to deal with Performance Bicycle, Cranix Bike Shop Inc., and Iron City Bikes. For actual indirect customers, you will have to contend with exercise-related businesses like Gold's Gym, One Up Skate Shop, and the world-renowned Dive Hards International. For potential direct companies, keep an eye on established bike shops from other areas. Finally, we hope you don't have to deal with potential indirect heavyweights like Dick's and Nike, but keep the presence in the back of your head.
Protecting your ideas. A quick Google search reveals that a few used car dealerships, including one in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, are named Deals on Wheels. Yes, both spelled with the Z. However, using the United States Patent and Trademark Office's Trademark Electronic Search System, no one has registered this name. Moreover, given these businesses are in different sectors, there shouldn't be any infringement. You can immediately trademark any branded items, but it would be wise to register them in Pennsylvania, where the fee is a mere $50. Filing early offers protection from those looking to use your trademarks. In the event that the name is not able to be registered, the company's logo can be. However, you can incorporate the company name in the trademark, which would offer additional protection.
So, Mr. Adams, you have a name for your business, Deals on Wheels. It's good, it rings. But there's many questions you need to ask yourself when walking into this business and starting a business plan. 10 basic questions to be exact. Starting with, who are my customers? Well, for a bike shop, they tend to be active or young people. What are their fears and passions? Well, we want to cater to the passion and joy of riding a bike outside. What is the direct and immediate appeal of the product? The customer receives an affordable means of transportation, exercise, and a way to spend more time outdoors. How do I reach my customer? Through a storefront, social media, and online advertising. Who are my competitors? There are 4 different types of competitors to watch out for, always. What is my competitive advantage? I know I can supply more specialty items sold in shops over other shops in the area, and my repairs are done with better care. Who is in my management team? I must delegate non-essential tasks to employees, being tasks that you, the owner, do not absolutely have to do yourself. How am I going to pay these people? Do not pay them in stock unless you know your employees are going to be around for years to come. Where am I going to get the money for this? Money usually comes from your pocket, called capital, revenue from customers, and any other money takes the form of loans from a bank or other sources. What are the risks of operating this business, and how am I going to deal with that? I will need a lawyer or accountant, and I will need them to have an LLC or incorporated form made. So outside of these 10 steps, you also have to consider sales and marketing. A general guide is 4 P's of marketing: product, packaging, pricing, and promotion. Knowing your product, how to package and ship it, pricing the customers will pay that you'll also have enough to make profit from, and promoting the business, making customers aware that you exist. 3 keys to marketing equals fears and passions, as mentioned before. Focus on benefits, not features, and don't oversell. What do people really want? Urban biking is becoming more popular because of health benefits, economic affordability, and ability to be more active outdoors. Online marketing. Know your objectives, know your customer, and do they use social media? Many people that ride bicycles often are young, and many people who are young actively participate in many forms of social media. Therefore, social media would be a great way to reach potential customers.
Mr. Adams, if you follow this advice, you will have a booming business in no time.